Tonight on Attitude, classic rock is killing Australian music and forcing a 90s generation to live in the 70s.
I said, well, I can write songs. They said, yeah, but it's best we go with the cover.
Now, some kid who's 18 today and who's into Mick Jagger, it would have been like me being into Frank Sinatra.
Not another fucking tribute band.
The baby boomers have stolen the cultural limelight from Generation X.
Rock and roll, whatever that means to whoever it is, should not be palatable to anyone but the rebelling generation of the time.
Generation X is really categorised by the fact that you can't categorise them in any particular box.
But we're going to steal the limelight back.
We need to change what people are listening to actually develop another culture.
It'd be really fantastic to see a new batch of talent, break through internationally.
Welcome to Attitude. Last year, over half of the top 100 albums sold in Australia were greatest hits albums, live albums, soundtracks containing old songs or re-releases. In other words, old music is in and new music is out. This trend is killing what was once an exciting Australian music scene. Sales of original music are the lowest in a decade, and new acts are finding it nearly impossible to get a run on commercial radio stations. Caitlin Shea discovered the classic rock.
It wasn't an overnight success, and same with punk or any kind of jazz, anything you care to mention, any sort of new wave of music, it always starts in the underground, of course.
Jason Reynolds trawls the underground for the talent he produces on his independent record label, Summershine.
I mean, it still is do-it-yourself. You put out a 7-inch single, you try and cut the costs wherever you possibly can. So, yes, I have packed 20 to 30,000 7-inch singles into plastic bags. I still do that. I still sit down and, cut and paste a lot of the artwork myself, basically because I can't afford to pay, $100 to $150 or $200 to a graphic designer to do it.
Jason, like many independent label operators, believes in giving bands time to develop. This means smaller investments over longer periods of time, a departure from the mentality of the bigger record companies.
If we didn't have sort of like him, we went with a label, it'd be really, really expensive to do our own stuff. And it's really inhibitive because there's probably heaps of bands that have got really good stuff that can't afford to get it released.
Once the Earthmen proved themselves on the Summershine label, major labels came knocking. Jason met with Atlantic Records last year.
I had the rough mixes of the Earthmen mini album at that stage. I just sort of gave him a copy of it and said, you should have a listen to this, you'll probably like them. And 3 days later when I was in London, he was ringing me up going, wow, I want to sign this band, they're really great. It was as simple as that.
The Cruel Sea is another band that gained mainstream success after spending time developing.